Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. This is Christal with From Christal XO and rolling out. Come on in. Come on in. Yes, tonight's episode was especially interesting. So I'm going to hold off for a few minutes. I want to let a few more people come into the chat. Make sure that you let me know if you can hear me. Hey, Tamasha. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Loki Bay. Angie Jones. Felicia. Hey, everybody, come on in. Tonight's episode was so interesting that I said, you know what? I do not want a Ready to Love alumni. I do not want anyone from the show. I want a friend of mine that I can talk to. And I want a male because I feel like I needed a guy's perspective to just come on in and be honest. And I feel like when you have people from the show, they can't necessarily be transparent. They can't say what they really want to say because they don't want to piss anybody off. And I didn't want that tonight. I just wanted us to have a real candid conversation about all this. So I got one of my personal friends who, before I got married, he and I would talk about stuff. He would give me honest opinions that I did not always like. And I asked him would he come on and join me tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to bring my good friend. Oh, he's going by the government tonight. Kyle Crawford. Welcome. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Well, first of all, I wasn't expecting the government to be on here, but I guess that's how.
Trust me, I'll be changing that. Trust me.
All right. So, like I said, I wanted to bring on a guy because I wanted a guy's perspective. And so Kyle is like one of my good friends for over 20 years. He's also someone that, like I said, a lot of times he gives me real advice that I may or may not like. You know, we've had a lot of those conversations, and I also give him advice that he may or may not like. So I just felt like it was important for us to have a real conversation. Before we talk about tonight's episode, I want to thank everybody that joined me on Wednesday for the conversation on colorism that we had based on what was going on in reality TV. Thank you so much to Masha, who was a part of that conversation. It was a great start, and we had a lot of women chimed in the chat. I'm just very appreciative of that. So I want to ask you, before we get started with tonight's episode, colorism is something you and I have talked about when it comes to dating, right? And so I want to ask your opinion on this show. A lot of times, I know you hadn't watched. This was your first time watching Ready to Love, right?
Correct.
All right. So on this show, a lot of people assume that a lot of times the men are partial to lighter skinned women. Is that something that you have seen or that you really believe happens in real life when it comes to dating?
Definitely. It's whatever they're attracted to. I mean, it just so happens to be a lot of guys, go that way. But yeah, it's whatever they're attracted to.
Okay. All right. So, but you've always said that that's not how you are. Now come on, man. You're going to have to talk tonight. You're going to have to.
No, I got it. For me, I mean, I love black women. I like women of color. So for me, it doesn't necessarily matter as long as they're women of color. Let me be real clear with that. But there's a lot of guys, man. I've seen different energy come in the room or treat this woman this way, this another woman this way, and it's based on complexion. Especially if you grew up in a certain era. I don't think it's that bad now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But younger people, let me say that.
Yeah.
But at a certain age, I think that was a heavy thing. Yeah. Yeah. And
All right.
TV played a part of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Images on TV played a big. Now we're getting to see different, you know what I mean? Whether it's reality, whether it's regular TV, we're starting to see a lot of brown, you know, Insecure, I noticed a lot of brown. I like that. I think
Yeah.
that's dope.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Felicia said, give it to us straight, no chaser, Kyle. So we need
Now,
you.
I got you.
That's why I had you come on, because I wanted some real honest conversation. That's what we try to do here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, Jazzy Mac, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, because tonight's episode definitely was one that I had to talk about, and I wanted a real conversation with a guy friend that I trust. And I called you right after the show, and I gotta say, I'm just gonna start out by saying I interviewed Chris earlier this year, a few weeks ago, and I really enjoyed him. However, I will be honest, I really was disappointed in the fact that he lost his cool tonight. I really felt like there's a lot. I didn't even want to jump into that part first, but I feel like I have to, because I gotta say, I definitely was disappointed that he lost his cool and that he spoke to Jessica the way that he did at the end of that conversation.
I was rocking with him all the way up until that point. All the way that I was with him. I understood exactly, but right when it got there, that's when he blew his cool was over. But I felt him. I knew where it came from anyway. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about that, because Tiffany says, I don't like Chris at all anymore.
Hey, yo, I understand this. This is my first time watching it, right? And, we get to the part of when she's talking about being combative. Now, I don't know who's saying it, though. Who said it to her at that particular time she was saying it. But I'm reading her energy. And her energy came off combative to me. I knew what that energy looked like. And I was like, well, whoever said it might be right.
Oh, shit.
And that's how I feel about it.
All right. Now I want to ask this, because the chat has gotten on me before for saying that somebody seemed aggressive. And it was like, black women were like, you can't call a black woman aggressive. I'm like, I am a black woman. In case y'all have not noticed,
right.
I am a black woman. So I can say whatever I want about us.
Right.
And I feel like we have to be able to, there's nobody that's above reproach. So I want to start out by acknowledging the definition of combative. The definition of combative is ready or eager to fight. What is a combative person? A person who is combative is aggressive and eager to fight or argue. Now, I'm not talking about Jessica specifically. I'm talking about people, period. Specifically women, us. This channel is mostly us, right? Mo or Kyle, have you met black women who fit the definition of eager or ready to fight?
A whole bunch of yeah. But not all. Let me be real clear. Not all, but yeah. I don't know where it stems from.
Now wait a minute.
Environment.
Let's you explain, because a lot of times women were saying, I've seen women say, I'm not combative. Why would you call me aggressive? How are you going to call me? And it's like that. So I want you to.
There it is, right there. And that's what Jessica was doing. The whole time she was saying that, I was like, there you go, right there.
Okay.
And there's the thing, when you've seen something before, it's easy to spot it before it happens. When you've seen it enough times. Like, I've never seen the show, never heard of this woman, and I was like, okay, I see where that's going to go. And women, that's my thing, especially that energy, no more than anybody. Especially if you take an abusive woman and a woman in a relationship, and let's say she had three abusive boyfriends, right? They're aggressive. They talk with their hands in her face. Then the fourth guy comes in. He just gets in her face and maybe raises his tone a little bit, and she jumps. You would give that woman a pass because what she's been through and because she's seen it enough time. So why is it any different when a woman is speaking that a man can't see it and say that's combative? I don't want to deal with that. We got to start taking accountability for, and it's worse. I'm surprised they even said anything to you, because usually women understand women, they can say it, but they just really have a problem when men say it.
No, they don't like when nobody says it. The words combative or aggressive. Now, I do want to say this. I do understand as a Black woman that we are often, no matter what we do, if a white woman does something, it doesn't necessarily get characterized the same. I'm not saying that that doesn't happen, but that doesn't mean that the behavior is not problematic, right? Now, Tiffany says Jessica was very calm. She didn't even raise her voice. What do you think about so does combative energy always have to be loud or
No, no, it doesn't.
I see, and this is what I'm saying. Let me just say this because I'm glad you're being honest. This is a safe space, Mo. This is a safe space. But
Yeah.
I really feel like a lot of times there's a disconnect between women and men, and we don't understand what men are saying. Because I know for me, a lot of times I've heard that a lot of guys like I don't want to argue. I'm not into arguing, right? And
Right.
so and a lot of times I didn't even feel like I was arguing. I just feel the guy just was like, I don't want to go back and forth. I think you have been like, I'm not going back and forth with these girls. I'm not, if I'm talking and she says something. So what is the energy that men are picking up on that may not be loud? It may
It's
not be
it's
like
it's
this.
it's you keep pushing the same narrative when the person told you what it was or what it was for them, and then you keep. It's like the poking the bear thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
not so much. I mean, you can say it aggressively and make it worse, but if you say, "Well, you're acting," I'm like, "No, I'm not," and then you be like, "Well, I just think you are," and you always want to get that last word, trying to prove your point. Right there,
Right.
that's enough, to see it coming for us to keep pushing and telling me what I am, like she was doing to him.
Okay.
And I've seen it enough times. And like I said, you can see it from a mile away. That's anybody with any energy. If you see it enough times, you could spot it before it happens.
Right.
And I think because a lot of times women are pretty, a lot of men excuse it and don't say anything. And it can happen between 10 guys, and the one guy that says it, he's wrong. But the other guys wanted to say it, but they wanted to hit, they wanted to do whatever, or they like being around pretty women. And a lot of dudes like being around pretty women and excuse bad behavior.
Mm. So that makes it kind of y'all's fault as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. But then again, it seems like it's our fault when we do stand up and we say something early. Something's wrong with him. Who hurt him? Who did this to him? Because somebody finally spoke up and said something that he might have said in private to someone else, but didn't want to say to her.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that women don't know. A lot of these guys perform in front of y'all, whether y'all know it or not. And then when someone like me says it, it's like, oh, you're just saying that. They're not like that. You got to hear the conversations amongst women that have brothers hear these conversations. That's why a lot of them are little bit more understanding than men. I personally like to talk to women that have brothers because they get, especially if they're older brothers, they get men a little bit better
Yeah.
because they see the same thing, but because that's their brother, they read it a little different.
Let me ask you this, and I'm asking the chat too because the chat is definitely popping tonight. If you guys are just tuning in, of course, this is our recap on tonight's episode of Ready to Love, and I had to just jump right into the combative question because I really feel like this is a divisive term. I want to ask you, Kyle, what did you think when Janelle confronted the entire group, and she said, after all that Black women have been through, and the fact that we aren't protected, why did you guys think it was okay to use the word combative? to the group, and Phil automatically was like, well, that verbiage was not for everybody. And then Marie got up and walked out. What was your thoughts on that?
Somebody said she was combative at one point. It's just like the hit dog will holler thing. You know what I mean? You say the word bitch, everyone. Why is every woman getting mad at that word? If it don't apply, let it fly. Like, why is that? You know, it seems to be one of the few times that, I hate to say it, when women stick together. When they're calling another woman, when a man is calling another woman something. And it's like, I mean, it felt like somebody had called her to that at one point, to me.
Do you think that she was right in saying that that word should not have been used in the I guess the elimination, because every week they have these elimination.
That's how we felt. But
Well,
here's the thing.
Marie didn't feel like that. Marie was put up to it. Well, Marie had the burden of telling the women what the conversation was in the men's lounge. What did you think about the way he delivered the message?
He should have put it in his own words if he was going to do that.
Yeah.
Because once he took ownership of it. If he felt it was wrong, why is he repeating it to the room?
Yeah.
Why is he repeating it to the ladies? Once you take that and you said it, it sounds like it's coming from you, and they wanted the other guy to step up. You took ownership of that. You don't have to say that. Somebody, if there was a woman that said that, another woman would have been like, she was being messy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because why did you, if that's what he said, you could have chose another word if you felt the word was wrong.
Yeah, I think Camille said, Quentin and Marie said the collective agreed she was combative, meaning more than one person. And that is that's the way it came off. But unfortunately, but I was shocked at the way Marie was acting, like he really, I think he didn't want to hurt her feelings. And I also feel like, this is just Christal's opinion, at this point, everybody is just grasping on the connections. I feel like he was like, oh man, now my connection with Jessica is messed up. Because when he went and apologized to her, I feel like he was trying to see if there was any hope for their possible connection.
Why is he? That's what I'm saying. I don't believe it was sincere. I think he was trying to save himself, and I think it was corny. I don't think he should have did that. I thought it was corny, personally. Why are you going in there apologizing for what? For you said you're repeating something. So at that point, if you're apologizing, you took accountability. You hold the weight. In my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Felicia says Marie is about self-preservation. All right, let's get to some of the rest of this. I just you know what? Let's wrap that part up. So Kyle, in your opinion, I feel like Chris let himself down. I'm sure he's going to apologize for that scene, just because that is never okay. I don't think that would have been okay if it was reversed. If Jessica went off on him, that would have been wrong.
Yeah. He was wrong.
How do you think what is an opportunity? What should he have done in that situation when it was going back and forth? I feel like he was a little emotional, because he was kind of like, it felt like he was getting a little bit emotional about going home. So what would you have suggested?
I don't know if that was it. I knew he had that drink in his hand. I ain't gonna hold you. I thought he was gonna throw it at me.
Then that would have been all the way bad. That would have been all the way bad.
That would have been crazy. Yeah. But nah, I think the same thing that bothered her bothered him. She didn't want the world seeing her and labeling her as that. And he moved on. He was like, won't you just move on? She was trying to tell him what he wasn't, and he felt the same way. She kept pushing. And he blew his cool. I mean, I'm not making no, like, he took it way too far. Calling her a name and saying all, I don't think that was uncool.
Yeah, he said, fuck you and everything you stand for. I'm like, it sounds like that F your click it. Like, first
yo, right. Hey, yo, but I'm going to be honest with you. He meant that shit. He meant that shit. If he do it now, it's just because he's gonna get a lot of flack, but he meant it.
I think he was.
He ain't rocking my.
I think his feelings were hurt because he doesn't seem like the type that would do that.
Hey, you never know when you keep getting pushed.
He didn't call her a name, KC, but he did say "F you" and everything you stand for. It feels very much like, first of all, F your B and the clique you claim. It feels very much like that. Can't.
Right. He ain't call her a name, but it still wasn't right. He took it way too far.
Yeah. All right. I was actually let me ask you this, because it seemed like it was all kinds of connections that didn't feel genuine coming out tonight.
Right.
I was surprised to see him gifting Lee, and then also what I will say I appreciated about Chris's energy is that he gave Lee a gift, and then he had a very different.
What, the rocks?
No, that's not the rocks. The shoes. It was the slides. It was the slides.
Oh, the joints you get from after when you get a pedicure. Those.
I thought they were Fendi slides.
I don't know.
Were they? I'm gonna ask the chat. Were they Fendi slides? I felt like they were Fendi slides.
I don't care what they was. That was crazy. I don't know. You saw Tommy making fun of them. Yeah, that was crazy.
I thought that was sweet. I thought it was sweet. They were Versace. I thought it was. Yeah, I thought they were cute. I mean, you know, it's okay.
Because they were Versace, they were cute.
No, I thought they were Fendi. Somebody say Hermes. Y'all don't know. Everybody just throwing out designer labels. But all right, I thought that was cute. But I did appreciate the fact that he did something totally different with Aries, and he did the bow and arrow, the archery. Because we've seen a lot of guys give the same, do the exact same thing with different women. So I feel like
is that part of the segment where they give gifts? That's you supposed to do that?
No, that was just something that he wanted to do. That was something that
because the other guy gave her the crystals at the
I mean, look, they trying to win at this point. Everybody's trying to stay to the end, so they're taking out all the stuff. They're taking out all the stops. So no, but that's not. You know, there are some guys that do give gifts. We know that women like gifts. Lee has made it clear that she likes, you know, to be the dates to level up. So I felt like that was his way of trying to show her that he thought about her and he wasn't afraid to spend a little money. I did think that was a little bit. I thought that Jessica went a little bit low with the dig when she brought that up at the ladies' lounge. What did you think about that?
That's the same point. That's what I'm talking about. I thought it was a little cheesy. I'm be honest with you.
You thought him giving her the shoes was cheesy, or Jessica bringing it up?
Both. Both. And it was a stab at the what was the other woman's name that was next to Jessica?
Lee.
Yeah, Lee. Right. And she checked on it.
She did. Can I just say, I am here for the way Lee checks with class. She's trying to find clarity, but she don't go low. I love it. I feel like this whole thing happened because initially Jessica and Chris had a connection. I feel like when Chris automatically may have judged her too harshly, and he was like, "That ain't for me." Just like he said, like tonight, we weren't each other's person. He just immediately withdrew, and she actually liked him because if you guys remember at the hoedown, Jessica escorted Chris around, letting everybody know that was her man. Like she tried to, lock him in early. So the fact that it didn't work out, I think that she was she felt some kind of way because of that. I think it was her feeling on both sides.
In my travels, the prettier the woman, the more they hate it.
I hate you.
I'm serious. And then to be sitting next to the other woman that you see what I'm saying? And if she feels like she looks better than her, that's hey, sometimes it can be used as bait. Sometimes it can be used against you.
What do you, okay, let me ask you this. Since you're not on the show, I can ask you whatever. You're not going to get in
Yeah,
trouble. Which
yeah.
woman did you feel like, which woman would you have chosen out of the two, Jessica and Lee?
I would have took Lee. I just feel attitude from Jessica. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know what it is because I haven't seen it long. Like I just felt like if there was a problem, she was gonna. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I see that. But before they even brought that up, I just got that energy from her. Now,
It,
when they first met, she might have been sweet, but something struck a chord in him from him to say that's not for me.
Yeah, but I think that everybody judges people based on their past or right with the lens that
Right,
they see things through. So
right.
Jessica really may not be that way. It could be that because there was actually a scene last week where Marie said he was trying to be a little bit more affectionate with Jessica, and he said that she was kind of standoffish. It could be that Jessica's one of those type of people that doesn't warm up or show a lot of emotion early on, and I know that that's something that is difficult with men, but it could be that she has a little bit of a wall up because and she
Yeah.
needs to feel a little bit more safe with a guy before she does that. So
But that doesn't mean, I mean, I get that, and I know women like that, but that doesn't mean that I want to stick around for that. Well, I just need to take some time. That's cool. You take that time over there. I'm gonna go see her over here. I mean, different people bring different results, right?
this is true. This is true. This is
Right. I mean, but because somebody presents something to somebody and said, "Well, this is the way I am," it doesn't mean I have to receive that, or I have to deal with it, or I want to.
yeah.
It's cool. It's nothing wrong, but not something I want to deal with.
All right, moving on. So I was confused, as I said, and Aries has said that we don't know all that happens, and we definitely know that. We are working on what we see through the edit, right? But
Right.
I was surprised to see Chris still trying to court Aries and Lee, because we really haven't seen a lot of that connection. I was also surprised to see Marie trying to court Katerina with the rocks or the crystals, as you said. But I don't really see, like I've said from the jump, I don't really see real connections this with these people. Like I don't see outside of the conversation between Aries and Phil, right? Aries and Phil, to me, that conversation felt real. That conversation felt like something that you would have with somebody that you're considering really dating. So let's talk about that. Aries said she was a little she wanted to know like what's the deal, like what's up, what are we doing, what's happening here, and she wanted to make sure that there was some stability on Phil's side before she makes her decision. What were your thoughts on that conversation?
I thought she should have got straight to it if she was going to say it.
I feel like she got straight to it. You don't think she did?
She was kind of like, "Well, what are we?" Instead of, "Look, um, I'm uncomfortable," or "Do you have a plan?" Or I don't know. It just felt, I don't know. I had a soft spot for him because I've been in that position before. So I was rooting for him, but
It
mm,
doesn't feel safe. Now,
it does.
I want to say Chris threw a little shade. Chris threw a little shade. I don't know if y'all picked up on it, but Chris threw a little shade and he was like, well, I feel like if Aries wants the type of lifestyle that I believe she wants, she probably could have that more with me than Phil. I felt like he threw a little shade at that. I was like, well, damn.
What's the shade?
That is shade. You don't think so?
It depends on their. If they got along, I don't think it was shade.
What you mean if they got
If they
along?
if Chris and the other guy got along and they were cool, I
They
don't
seem,
think it's shade.
yeah, I don't think they're not cool. They seem cool. In fact, they both said that they're cool with each other, but I felt like that was a little bit of shade for him to say that to in his confessionals.
Yeah, I don't think you should bring anybody else's situation into it. Just base it on you and that person. I get that,
Right.
but was he lying?
I don't think he was lying.
There you go.
I don't think he was lying. So let's talk about the conversation because Phil was really honest. That's one of the things I did like about him. He was really just like, well, 4 months ago, it wouldn't have been all good. I was like, well, damn,
Yeah,
4 months.
the 4 months thing. The 4 months thing was a little sketchy. I think you need about 9 of them joints right there. 4 months ain't enough time, player. 4 months ain't gonna get it.
I don't think so. I was a little concerned. I was a little concerned about the 4 months. But I'm also wondering because he did say that he talked about, he was very honest about the fact that he dealt with grief after his father passed away. And now, earlier this season, another young lady, Kira, was a little concerned about Phil's stability as well.
There you
So
go.
she brought it up. And so, because he seems to have a lot of be very entrepreneurial, right? So, like,
Right.
he was talking about a cleaning business, and then he was, so I don't know that did. Loyalty says, yeah, when he said 4 months, I thought he was going to say 4 years. Yes, I
Right.
personally would like,
Exactly.
I would feel more comfortable with 4 years, but I'm going to give him points for being honest. What do you think, Mo? I mean, it's Kyle. I'm trying to get used to calling you by your government. What What do
You
you
call me
think her
Mo.
response to his honesty was? Do you think that pays off when you're honest with men? I mean, with women.
With women, not really. I don't know. It seems I don't know. I'm trying not to get in trouble on here. I'm
No,
trying
just
not,
be
but
honest. They love the
but
honesty.
no,
The
I
honesty.
don't know. It feels like women. I mean, people accept what they want to accept, but it seems like women embrace the lie better. To be honest,
But how can you lie about what you have, though?
because women like to hear, like to they fall in love with what they hear. Just like men fall in love with what they see.
But if
That's why makeup is, huh?
but you can't lie
No,
consistently.
no, 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 no. I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying, that's what comes across your mind as a man when you tell the truth or you're being transparent about your situation and they don't want to deal with it. The next time around, you figure, well, maybe I don't need to say that no more and I need to say something else.
Well, we all,
Because they don't accept this.
but they're not going to
They
accept.
like everything else, huh?
But they're not going to accept it. They're not going to accept it either way. Because even if you lie, it's going to come out. Like their Aries is
Oh,
grown. She got kids. She's a
no,
grown.
no, 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 I get it. But dudes be like, yo, I'll deal with that down the line. I face that when it happens. In the meantime, I'm not saying that's right. I'm just trying to tell you how a lot of men think.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, that's what we wanted. We wanted how men
Yeah.
how men
I
think.
mean, because a lot of times, if let's say he tells her the truth, right, and he tells her the truth, and it's he feels like it's a safe place to tell her the truth.
Right. Right. He did. He felt
Okay.
safe. He felt
Okay.
safe.
Now, let's say she gets with him and then there's an issue and that situation comes up
Mm-hmm.
and she uses that against him later. What I said and it being a safe place, you're using me against me. You see what I'm saying? Not what you found out, but what I told you because I thought it was a safe place to tell you.
Well, okay, let's
And
talk.
this is why a lot of men don't speak and don't show their emotion because this is what happens.
Okay,
And it'll be cool for now,
yeah.
but until we get into it and it comes up, then the same thing will be that you were cool with or that you were working with is being brought to light.
Okay, but hold on. Let me give you this example. First, first of all, someone private person asked, "Who is Christal's guest?" Christal's guest is one of her good, one of my best friends, Kyle Crawford, who is here. I didn't want one of the guys from the show because I don't feel like they can be honest. I feel like all the guys are just, they're all having each other's back and trying to keep the show. So I just wanted a real guy that I knew would be honest and give real information, real opinions. And so that's who's here tonight. One of my good friends, Kyle Crawford. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, Kyle.
No problem.
And we are talking about tonight's episode of Ready to Love. Now, before we move on to the next point, I want to point out another couple that was on Ready to Love, and Rashid and Simone. Now, Rashid lied about his finances and how far along he was, and Simone found out, and the engagement was off. And Simone is now, free as a bird for someone else, and Rashid is, on his own. So I think that honesty coupled with a real plan, and then a woman has to be honest with herself if she can deal with it or not, because Rashid was not honest, and that came back to bite him big time when after they were engaged and everything, and she found out things.
The fact that he got to the engagement is amazing to me.
He did. He got all the way to the engagement, and then she found out, he didn't have the money for the wedding, and things went bad.
He dealt with it when it happened. That's why I tell you, a lot of guys, well, until we get there, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna win her over. Once she finds out, she'll work. I didn't see it.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let's move on to I don't see any chemistry between Maria and Katarina. Katarina is going to be here on Monday, so you guys, tune in for that. Actually, tomorrow at noon, if anybody is up during the day, I have Marvin and his new woman who's in the lifestyle with him that is going to be on, and we're going to be talking about their relationship and how they got together. So there's another guy that was on the show, Kyle, and he was into alternative lifestyles. He was into he was into ass worship, and what else, guys? He was into allowing other people to come into the bedroom. He liked to see his partner be sexually intimate with another person. Yeah, they yep, he's into S&M, and yeah, so he'll be on tomorrow. Have you met BDSM? Have you met, first of all, are you into BDSM?
Who? Nah, I'm no. I thought you was talking to somebody else. Hell no. No, I'm cool.
Have you met a woman that was into a little extra?
Years ago. Years ago.
And what did you think about that?
I thought she was playing at first.
And
she had a whip the bed. It was anyway, but yeah, I thought she was playing.
What did she do? We want to know.
She didn't do nothing. It didn't. Yeah, she just tried to convince me that it wouldn't hurt.
Oh.
I still thought she was playing.
What did she try to give me? What did she try to give me?
No, she told me to whip under her bed, and then she brought it out, and then she's like, would it bother you if I hit you with this? And I'm like, what? And I'm at what? I'm 21 at the time.
Okay.
I'm really thinking this is a joke. And it might have been even to this. I don't know if she was sitting, but that's the closest I've ever.
You left?
Nah, I ain't leave. We didn't do nothing with the whip. I'm just saying. We didn't need the whip, but I was real curious to wonder why she had a whip under her bed. I didn't know when she pulled it out and was whipping it and was like, you feel it, and all this stuff. I was like, nah,
all right, let's get back to Ready to Love. I'm off kilter because God, this is one of my good friends, so I'm just giving him a hard time. Sean said Kyle has been scarred.
Might have.
All right, so let me ask you this. So there was a scene with the people when everybody was fishing, and Quentin was fishing, and Lee. It's weird that we have not seen Quentin and Lee together at all again until tonight. And then Quentin caught a very small fish, and then Janelle came out and was like, "Ooh, baby, you caught us some food," and she made her presence clear. I don't know if that was editing to try to make it look like she was constantly trying to, you know.
It felt like it was.
It felt like it was editing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't
That's
think
not the guy that dropped the fishing pole, right?
that is the guy that dropped the fishing pole? Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I guess. We talked about that before. Yeah.
So what did you think?
Anyway.
What did you think of the fishing pole?
The fishing pole, or the guy that had the fishing pole?
The guy that had the fishing pole, Kyle.
Can I really say what I thought?
You can.
There was a segment before that where I guess they was just talking to him. He was talking to the camera. I don't know. He came off a little suspect to me.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I'll just say that.
Yeah.
And then when he dropped the fishing pole, I was like, I don't know. Something just didn't feel right.
Okay. All right. I did.
I want to leave it.
You're gonna leave it like that. Now, somebody said that I do think that production put that fish, because that fish did not come out of that. That fish was too small. It looked like a fish they got at PetSmart. I don't like that. I didn't like it.
Yeah, it did seem a bad edit.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense that he caught that very small. I mean, it may have been, but it just felt very staged.
What was the light-skinned girl that got sent home? Woman, pardon me.
Sierra?
Yeah, I knew she was gonna get sent home.
What? Why did you know she was gonna get sent home?
Ain't nobody want her.
No, wait a minute, Kyle. Why would you say
I'm just
that?
saying.
Why would you say that? No, don't say that. She's cool. Don't say that.
He left, right?
But what?
Nobody wanted it.
No. A lot of people have left. A lot of people have left. What was it about her?
I'm talking about what I saw. I don't know about him.
I'm asking you, what did you see that made you think that she was going to go home?
I'm gonna tell you somebody else is gonna go home too. But I didn't see it. I just wasn't nobody gonna pick her. I'm sorry. She seemed like a sweet woman, but there's another one going to. It's another one going to.
I'm laughing, but that's not fun. Sierra was actually really cool. I felt like, okay, let me ask you this, because again, it's a lot of women. Like, you're stupid. I can't. There are a lot of women on here watching, and I want to make sure that we give the woman a man's perspective. What was it about her energy that made you feel like she was going to go home?
Well, man, I was about to say something. I'm trying to be cool. Just compared to the other woman there, to be honest with you, visually she wasn't.
Is it? Wait a minute now.
Wasn't matching up.
But is it because she had a short haircut? Because that's not fair.
No. Actually, I like shortcuts personally.
Okay.
Okay. No, it had nothing to do with the cut. It had nothing to do with the color neither.
Was
some other things maybe?
Was it her energy? Come on. What?
Listen, she did have big energy, but she just didn't fit. When you okay, to keep it real, when you put all of those women together, most men, we know men are visual.
Yes.
She's gonna be out. Of what I saw, she's gonna be out.
Yeah, it sucks sometimes. Okay. All right. I agree. I think that her
if they were all tall men and they were short guys, most women like the short guys would be out.
Okay.
That's come on, man.
So you saying
like y'all can have height, but when we have something, it's like it's wrong. Come on, man.
I'm not saying that. I'm just asking. I'm not. I'm fine with you stating your truth. I mean, but it is hard. It is hard for us to hear, just like I'm sure it's hard for you guys to hear.
Well, them, I'm not sure, but them to hear, yeah, it's hard for them to hear that. And I'll be trying to stick up for them too.
I think but okay, Katarina is tall as well. Kat, the young lady that went on the date with Maria that got the rocks, as you said, the crystals.
Yeah.
She's tall.
Yeah. No. I'm not talking about tall. That's not the problem I have. I like tall women too. Men don't really have height. No. She wasn't tall. That wasn't the issue.
Okay. Let's move on because I like Sierra. Yeah. Okay. The people are asking me, what is your type? Not that this is about you, but what is your type?
It ranges, man. Like, what the funny thing is, when I talk to you, you say I have a type. I don't believe so.
He does have a type.
No, I showed you a picture today of someone I'm going out with tomorrow on a date. And you said she doesn't look like your type.
Yeah, because I know your type. I know what your type is.
That's part of my type. I liked her.
We'll see what happens. I'll report to you guys back later and see what it is. But okay, so I'm trying to think of somebody that's his type is like I'm trying to think of a celebrity that would be the type. So like Nia Long, or it's got to be like around 5'5", brown, light brown skin, and kind of like a long nose. He likes women with big noses. It's okay though; they're attractive. They just have big noses, right?
Please don't believe that. I mean, I like what I like, man. I don't know. It varies.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So let's out of the ladies there, who would be closest to your type that you saw tonight?
The look, like it's look and attitude, like
just okay. Let's just talk about looks. Yeah, 5'5" with brown eyes, smile like the sunshine. That's definitely his type. Come on. That's
every man's type, huh?
That's every man's type. I hate you. All right, come on. Who's mostly your type from tonight?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I just remember Lee, Jessica, and it was another lady. I don't remember them all. They didn't stand out, to be honest with you. And I watched the whole episode.
I feel like Jessica would be your physical type.
Yeah, but the attitude kills it though.
Yeah, but I feel
the
like
energy is something about her. I know we would be arguing before the end of the night.
But she definitely is your fit, and she's definitely his physical type.
Maybe.
What about I think all the ladies are beautiful, and I feel like you were wrong.
No, nobody was ugly. I want to be real clear with that. Nobody was.
And Sierra is cool. Sierra is beautiful. She's super cool. She has a fun personality. Now let me ask you this: do you think sometimes do you think sometimes that a woman who has a cool, funny personality, men don't necessarily find that attractive? You automatically get like homie vibes?
No, that's the complete opposite. Let's say if you had a woman like Jessica or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And she's like the woman that you were just, what's her name?
Sierra.
That's what we really like, because a lot of times we see the prettier woman, a lot of times we think she's going to be stuck up, she's going to be this. But when they're down to earth and cool and crack jokes, that's what's super cool. That's who you want to bring around. You wouldn't mind her being around your friends. You see what I'm saying?
But I don't think we should say that she's prettier, but I agree.
No, whatever you think, it could be any woman. Yeah. When she's real, she's up a certain way, you kind of like, she's probably going to be. But when they're like that and they're super cool, I'm trying to think of a celebrity that's like that. And then you be around and you be like, wow, it's even cooler.
So if that's the case, I feel like more of the guys should have been attracted to Sierra because she was really cool. Now, she said she didn't really open up until the end. And Phil even said he didn't get a chance to see how funny she was until the end. That's got to be difficult. G-Dep said Gabrielle Union. I don't know. I don't.
Yes, there you go.
Oh, she
There
is.
you
Okay.
go.
So she seems cool.
There you go. Yeah, like you hang around and she got like, yeah.
Christine.
That's right.
Christine Lambert said Queen Latifah.
Christine, log off. Log off. Log off. Log off.
I feel like y'all are tripping. No, Regina Hall is definitely that way. Regina Hall is really, really cool.
No, that's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's dope.
Yeah.
She's dope.
Yeah.
I definitely think Sierra didn't like anybody there. I honestly don't think Jessica really had a match there. I don't think that. I don't see matches here. I don't see matches. I really don't see matches at all.
I didn't. Well, I only saw the one episode, but I didn't see anybody I thought was bonding and laughing and kicking it. Yeah, I didn't see it.
That now, Sean, Sean Stokes says Stacey Dash. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Nah. See, you're just going for it. We play. Nah, her.
Nah, Sean, I love you, but nah. I've been around Stacey a few times. That is a no. That is a no. All right. So we out here. Chris is gone. I really don't think Chris should have. Well, Chris should have went because of the way he spoke to Jessica tonight. That was not cool. And so now we are at the end. We have, which was really weird. I felt like it was lame the way they just came back off of the couples trip. We didn't see them leave. We didn't see them pack up.
Right.
All of a sudden, we just saw a date with Katarina and Marie. I thought that was really strange. And I feel like this season, they may have a different editor or something because it's not flowing. Like that did not flow to me. It just did not. It did not flow the way they came back from they didn't really have like a cohesive conclusion to the couples trip. It was weird.
How long were they in the house for?
It was just a weekend, but I'm saying like we didn't see anything. All we saw is them catching fish, the confrontation about about Jessica, and then the next thing you know, we were back and they were going on dates to send either Marie or Chris home. I'm confused about who's gonna click up. What did you think? Last question about the show tonight. What did you think about Janelle and Quentin? It's really strange how editing. I'm almost thinking that some of the complaints from the cast have been right because we see that Janelle and Quentin they always get dates together, and then some other people never get dates or never get connected. What did you think with Janelle and Clinton's date at the end? When he asked her about conflict resolution.
Right. I just think that I still don't see it there.
Yeah, I don't see that either.
Between them. I don't.
But I feel like, and you didn't see last week.
No.
I feel like the reason that he asked her about conflict resolution is because I know the show is, yes, Camille, the show is edited. The show is definitely edited. Definitely, absolutely edited. We didn't know the extent, but we're learning today. But I feel like when Quentin mentioned he asked her about conflict resolution, I feel like he was suggesting that he wasn't really, he needed more clarity because he didn't like the way she dealt with the situation that happened last week with the other ladies. So I don't know, but there was a situation where she kind of was popping back and forth with Katarina, and people and Q really didn't like it. We saw a digital clip on OWN that I posted on my page where we saw him kind of ask her about the way she confronted it. And so I want to ask you, because I asked one of the guys I had on last week, what do you think when you see a girl that's arguing with other girls back and forth? What is your thought? Does it bother you? Do you feel like that's an issue for yourself, or do you think it's like women handling women things?
Depending on how far it goes. At first, I let the women handle it. I think it's how you're supposed to do it. I don't get involved and let her handle it. And if it gets too crazy or physical, then that's when you jump in. If not, let them figure it out. The problem is it usually doesn't get figured out.
But what do you?
I'm not drawn to women like that.
Well, what if the girl that you're with is constantly getting into it with other people?
That's crazy because I don't date women like that, so I wouldn't know.
Have you ever dated?
I wouldn't know.
Have you ever dated a woman that you kind of didn't like the way she talked to other women?
No, no, I never. Nah, because I usually see it early.
Yeah.
Now I've dated women who said little slick stuff, but never were like they go back and forth, and you know.
She did. Tiffany and Janika brought up. So after she finished arguing, she called all the other women there ugly ass bitches.
Oh, see, that's crazy. Yeah. So she like homeboy on. Is she okay? I got you. Nah, I'm cool on that. But I say let them figure it out.
Yeah.
But when do women or when do people like that ever? You know what I mean? You just gotta leave them alone.
In this clip, he asked her, did she feel like she did anything wrong? He was trying to get some accountability, and she was like, no, I don't feel like I did anything wrong.
Trying to get accountability from a female?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Because no, but you know me. You know me really well. I always take accountability.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying, and when I say fit, it doesn't mean all, but there's a lot.
I just want my points because I take accountability. I apologize to my honey bunnies when I'm wrong.
But let me ask you this: do you apologize in the moment?
In the moment? Nobody apologizes in the moment.
Most men do.
That's not true. That's not true.
Hey, so if you're wrong in the moment, you just keep going?
If men apologize in the moment, it's because they just want you to shut up.
Whatever works, whatever.
I can't stand you. But when in Rome said, who is this man? This man is my good friend Kyle Crawford, who sat in with me tonight to talk about tonight's recap on Ready to Love. My last points are I was really disappointed in Chris again.
Yeah,
I feel like you never allow yourself to lose your cool like that, be it a man or a woman. I just feel like that would have been wrong. But especially Chris, because I have a lot of respect for him, the way he presented himself on the show, the way he came, he was extremely articulate. That really
we were rooting for you. We all were rooting for you.
Chris, we were rooting for you. And then I always feel like you can be cool, but how you really know how a person's character is how they act under pressure. And to me, I did not like the fact that he went out like that. That was not cool to me.
Yeah,
so
that's a fact.
That's my takeaway. I do feel, whether he was pushed or not, I feel like with and there were several couples like that. There were several couples like that this season where if people don't get along, just leave each other alone, right? You don't have to keep going back and forth like that. I feel like we saw that initially with Tequila and Phil. He was like, I don't want to keep going back and forth over that. We just need to move on. And then we saw that with Red and Unique. Unique said, okay, there was a guy on here, Kyle, that was a comedian. And a young lady said that he had that was a thought job to her. So he got really upset about that. He didn't like that, but he came back and tried to fix it with. I feel like sometimes when you just meet somebody, if you guys don't connect, just leave it alone. As the only one says, be grown up and move on. But
let me ask you this: when you see someone letting it go, like, it got to be accountability on the other side too. You got to let it go. You can't keep pushing.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You see somebody saying, I don't want to talk about it, let's just leave it alone, or ignoring you, stop poking it.
Yeah.
Stop poking.
Yeah, I agree. But I feel like
not justifying what he did. I'm just saying that's anybody.
Yeah. That's true, but you
You
gotta,
know,
but isn't the measure of a man how you can control yourself in those situations?
that should be the measure of people.
Right, right. But
It's
is
not
there,
just men. It should
but
be
is
everybody should be doing it.
facts, but I,
Because the problem is when some people realize the other person's not supposed to be doing something, I'm
right.
gonna keep pushing. There's nothing they're not supposed to be doing to me. But
Mm,
then when they do it, you get mad. I'm just like, if the person was, I don't even want to use that. But my point is sometimes people push you because they know you're not supposed to do nothing.
that's true.
And that's not a license to keep pushing somebody.
I agree.
But he was just dead wrong. He
I
was
feel
dead wrong.
like on both sides, I feel like her feelings were hurt because she
Yeah.
was called combative. And I feel like his feelings were hurt because she kept coming at him like that and questioning his character. So I feel like on both sides there was hurt. But I feel like even with him, and he did try to say, you know what, we're just not for each other. Let's move on. But that's what makes dating just such a difficult thing sometimes, because sometimes the person you may not like you back. You know what I mean? Like, or they may judge you unfairly, but that's just a part of it, you know? Let me ask
It
you this.
is.
Let me ask you this, Mo, because and I'm sorry, I cannot stop calling you by your nickname. But let me ask you this because I feel like Ready to Love does really well because people are all in this situation. You mentioned you're going on a date tomorrow. I will give my audience an update on your date um, tomorrow. But what do you think is the biggest issue with why it's difficult to connect at this age in life? Like why it's so difficult? What do you wish that women knew about men from this perspective?
I think a big part of it is that sometimes we arrive a little late, man. That's we don't all arrive. I mean, they always say women mature faster than men. We don't all get to the same destination at the same time. And a lot of times I hear women's he should be past this stage of his life, so on and so forth. And I always tell women to find out what he was doing in his 20s, because that'll explain a lot.
Yeah.
Because men tend to pick up where they left off. And that's not always a good thing.
Yeah.
you know. He still wants to do this. He didn't get a chance to do it. My personal opinion is I think all men, grown men, need 8 to 10 years of being single and dating women
That's a really
and getting
long
it
time.
out
That's a
and
long
figuring
time.
it out.
That's a long time.
No, that's your 20s are for you,
Oh, you
not
mean
you and somebody
I thought
else.
you meant like, okay, we're talking about 35 and up. You don't need 8 to 10 more years after.
No. But what I'm saying is he gets married at, let's say, 23. He's
Yeah.
divorced at 37. A
Oh,
lot of times he picks right back up at 23 because he felt like he missed something that whole time.
that's true.
So then he's like, he should have got that out of his system. Now he actually didn't. If you're trying to fill up a gallon, a gallon of a container, and you're dripping it out, it's going to take a lot longer when you just letting the faucet flow and filling it up.
Mm,
And a lot of guys, he just left his mama crib.
yeah,
Now he's in some house with some woman, and he don't know anything about women. He just know you, and he's curious because he sees his friends out there being single, and he thinks he's missing something. And 9 times out of 10, he's not. But he doesn't know that.
yeah. Ari
You
said
need,
that's her. She was married at 23 to 34. So, and now she's 44. So now she's ready. Now she's ready. But okay, so let's say women understand that, where that man is and what's been going on. But what do you say about dating? Because this show, it basically is a pressure cooker of dating, right? So you have to go really quickly. What is it about a woman that can make you interested to where, because you live in Atlanta, there's obviously a lot of women. Mo always has his pick of women to date. So what is it about a woman that can make you want to invest in her and to separate her from the other women? I know so many women that are trying to like lock a man down and get what is it that makes a woman stand out to you?
character. Character. The pretty thing is easy. I'm in Atlanta, so that's easy.
All right.
Character. What else? Pretty is not enough. I like it, it's cool, but it's not enough. So character, principle, you know, what are you doing? Like on your downtime, what are you doing? Is your life led by all your girlfriends? Are you out in the club scene, night scene, every weekend? Like those type things matter to me now. It didn't matter to me before because that's where I was at, but I'm not there no more. So I'm not looking for a woman that's there.
Is it a problem if, because one of the things that people have really criticized Chris for is one of his ex-girlfriends came on and she mentioned that when she was with him, she did a lot of work for him and his company and things like that. And so,
Okay.
I mean, women went crazy. They were really upset because women, there's a lot of women that are career driven and they want that as well. Is a career driven woman a turnoff for you? And if not, why?
Um, that's touchy, man. Because I meet a lot of them actually, but the problem is it's a time thing, and you're on dates and on the phone constantly, pushing back dates when you're clearing your schedule to make the date. She's pushing it back while you're on the date. They're on the phone off and on. It doesn't really seem like they can. Or they don't want to be single, but it's hard for them to focus on just a simple date. Whether it's being on time, whether it's rescheduling, whether it's being present while you're there. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that was me.
So,
I mean, that was how I was. I used to I used to push back dates. I used to be on dates with my phone, and
right.
I used to be on dates. I would have two phones, and I would be, especially when I was like really, you've known me for over 20 years. So when I was, at the height of my career as a publicist, I had a lot of clients doing a lot of flying in and out of town all the time. So I didn't realize that that was a turnoff for some of the guys that I dated, and you didn't tell me. You did not tell me that.
Well, when you're on the date, not that's your life, but if you cancel a date that I made time for, you see what
I
I'm saying? And
I
that's cool. Things happen.
I have,
Things happen. But
yeah.
now that we're here on the date, they're still not present. And
I
it's
wasn't
like put
present,
away the
but I didn't.
phone,
I'm just
put
saying
away.
I didn't know. I'm taking accountability and saying I did not know that that was a turnoff, and I did have one guy tell me,
Hey, I wasn't on the dates with you to tell you not to do it. I don't know what you was doing. I don't know.
but you didn't give me no heads up. You didn't give me no
I
heads.
mean, when we hung out, you did it, but I didn't figure you did that on a date.
Well, in any case, I'm acknowledging that sometimes it can be difficult for a woman that's very career driven. And I had to learn that. That's one of the things I learned, after I decided I wanted to do better and I wanted to understand how I was coming off on dates. So I would just say to any women out there that are like myself and are the alpha female, pick up a copy of my book, Dear Alpha Female, It's Not Him, It's You. Shameless plug for the Alpha Female. Yay! That's friend support. Yay. But yeah, I think sometimes a woman we don't always know what is a turnoff with a man. And so sometimes you need a sister or a friend to pull you to the side and say, and sometimes if you have that defensiveness up, it can come off as Angel I said that's to be a turnoff for anyone. Okay, girl, I learned. I don't change my ways. Okay, I got it. And I'm trying to help other people. So, yeah, I think it's important to know that sometimes that defensiveness that may be because you've been hurt before. Um, I'm doing a lot. I thank you, Sherlock. You guys, I got a cold that is causing me to be a little bit hoarse. But yeah, I just think that sometimes you need a little help. And if you're coming off as defensive or as combative, as opposed to getting angry about it, try to figure out what am I doing that they're getting that. It could be that you're doing something that you don't even realize, and you can just dial it back. But I think the fact that our first instinct is to get angry and to go in further, that sometimes actually confirms what the man was thinking, because a lot of men don't want to spend the time to figure out how is she really cool underneath that defense. He may not have time to do that, so, or he may not want to do that, and if that's the case, he's not your man. But I do think that we can all do work on ourselves, right? So, you
Absolutely.
know,
Absolutely.
yeah. Oh no,
Absolutely.
Angel. I was just messing with you. I'm good, Angel Eyes. I think it was a turn off, and I had to check. I had a guy that I really, really was into, that I was on the phone and on a date, and I was talking with a client, and he told me to get up and go outside. And I was like, first of all, nobody ever talked to me like that. So I was like, who are you talking to? But he was like, you're being rude. You're in the phone, you're in the restaurant and you're on the phone. And I remember I did tell him, who you talking to, but I also realized he was right. He was right. I was being rude. And so, there's none of us are too big to take accountability. None of us are.
Yes.
Yeah. What have you learned that you want to do better when you're dating?
Ooh, man. Oh, so many. Be a little bit more patient. Like as far as what I'm willing to put up with, but not a lot. It's just, nobody's perfect, right? We all grew up different from different areas, parts of the country. And but at the same time, it's just like when you see things early, you know what's not for you. Cause I've heard you didn't even give me a chance.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was, you know, you show up late, you do that. I'm no nonsense. No nonsense.
But I mean,
Because it comes off like my time isn't valuable too. I'll be right getting on the exit to go to the date. And they was like, you're going to be mad, but I'm going to be about 45 minutes late.
that does
Now,
piss me
mind you, they set the time.
off. Okay, girl G Dub says, how old is Kyle asking for myself? Are you putting your age
How
on?
old am I?
Yes, how old are
Oh,
you?
yeah, 52.
All right. He's
But
52.
so it'll be stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then I got to figure out, now, mind you, they set the date. I might have had phone calls and
I'm
said,
sorry.
I
And Tiffany says, where is Kyle from?
I'm from Atlanta now. I've been here 30 years.
Your accent is
Nah, but born in Pennsylvania, grew up in Connecticut and New York.
okay.
But but to it's just being respectful of people's time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But me not blowing up because of it or being mad because I like watches. So I got this thing with time.
Yeah.
Don't waste my time. Don't be late. Because I'm not going to be late. I'm going to be there. Might be there early just because I don't want to be late. So I just try to get that, if that same energy isn't reciprocated, I used to feel it with. I still do. I'm working on it. If she's late tomorrow, I might feel it.
You guys, I find myself a love. Oh, one more question and then we're going to let you guys go. Miss Brown says, why are you single?
I don't know. That's a good question. I can give you 1,000,001 answers. I don't. I'm working it out though. I'm trying.
Give us one
We'll
or
see.
two though. You got to give us a couple.
I'm picky at this point because I'm playing for keeps. This is not me playing around dating with a purpose. So when you're thinking about that, this is not, well, I'll do this for now. Because that's what I used to do. I'll see her for now to something I'm not interested in.
He definitely used to have a bunch of them for now. It was out of control. I was trying to, and it was a lot. It was a lot going on for right now. Yeah.
But I wasn't there yet. You understand what I'm saying? Like I had to,
A lot of women.
there's a bunch of stuff I had to go through and get to.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you move different. Things that you entertained before, I don't necessarily entertain now. So it's different. Eating the quality of women, it's different. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna get there.
Well, I gave him. I feel like I'm the matchmaker for all my friends, so I gave him a great idea for his date tomorrow. So I'm excited. I think it's going to go really well.
Oh, easy, easy, easy. This is just real simple. It ain't that simple. Easy, easy.
It's gonna go good. You gotta think positive. That's another thing I had to do. I had to start thinking positive.
No, I'm just going to have a good time. I'm not overthinking this thing. We're just chilling, man. It's all good. We'll see.
All right. Well, thank you for hanging out with me, Kyle, tonight. This was fun.
Absolutely.
I appreciate your honesty about tonight's episode. we'll see what happens next week. We have got to be near the reunion. I'm ready for the reunion. I don't want to see any more of these dates for Ready to Love this season. I'm tired. I don't want to see no more. I just want us to get to the reunion or get to the final, the finale. Where is the finale coming? It should be next week. This is too long. We're ready for it to be over. So yes, Kyle, you have to come back. The chat has said that you should come back.
Would
And
love to.
yeah, we'll definitely. Keisha in Love says, thank you, Kyle. Have a great day. But thank you guys for hanging out with me on a Friday night. Now remember, I will be back tomorrow at noon. We'll be talking with Marvin and his lady Love. And then on Monday, we will have Katarina. And then on Tuesday, we will have Jessica. So we will get to the bottom of all this from her perspective, see what she thinks about it. And again, Katarina, ask her about those crystals/rocks from Marie. Did she enjoy those or not? It's all happening right here. Make sure that you like it. Make sure that you like this post and share it before you get out of here. Ari said we got 2 more before the reunion. Sweet mother of God. Sweet mother of God. All right, we're locked and loaded. Good night to everybody. I love you all. Have a blessed and beautiful weekend. Please come back tomorrow for Marvin. He has some things to clear up, so you don't want to miss that. I'll see you guys next time. Good night.